Today is September 3rd of 22. I just got back from India 3 days ago. I spent a month in India, and it was a really good trip. I could talk about India for probably 20 or 30 minutes, but I'll save that for another time. I didn't see the garden for a month, so I was excited to come back and see all the changes and the progress for this past month. It's been a really nice warm summer, and we've had lots of days in the 80s and 90s, which is really nice. Last year we did not have that many days that were that warm, so a lot of stuff has done really well. Some stuff has not done as well as I had expected, but overall the garden is looking good and thick and overgrown. It's looking pretty jungly. So I got so many palm seedlings I'm gonna have to get rid of. Laticarium honii. Anyway, I'm just rambling. Trachycarpus ninetale. This thing took some pretty bad heat damage during the heat dome last year because I had just planted it and it was not in very good health when I bought it. But it has come back really nice. It is well over 4 feet tall, and it's looking really good. Looking over here, something got into the pond while I was gone. Probably a coyote, or I don't know for sure, but it smashed a bunch of the water hyacinth. It smashed the water lilies. It smashed the pontidaria over there and the cattails, and it kicked up a bunch of sediment and it clogged up the pump, so the waterfall didn't run. I don't know for how long. The water was all nasty when I got home, and the fish had been really reclusive, so whatever it was probably after the fish. But I unclogged it and the water's clearing up real nice, and it looks really good because all the foliage is grown in thick and hanging out over the edges, and it gives it a nice organic look. So this Trachycarpus is as tall as me, 5'7". These hibiscus are totally wild. I need to trim them. They're too big. They're crowding everything else out. This Butea, this is my favorite palm that I have at this time. It is 6 feet tall, and in terms of sheer mass, it is the biggest palm that I have. And I've gone back and forth on Butea. I keep going back and forth. Sometimes I really like them, sometimes they're not my favorite, but coming back and seeing this thing in all of its glory, and this is a wonderful looking palm. Let me back up here. It's a great looking palm, and I think I'm probably going to miss this palm the most if I end up moving next summer, because it's just robust. It grows very well. It's put on a bunch of growth. So all of my Melianthus have been doing pretty well. These things wilt when it's hot, and I hate that they do that. They're not big, but they're pretty good considering I just started them from seed earlier this spring. All my bananas are doing decent. This is the biggest clump that I have. It's over 8 feet tall, and that's really good considering that they froze to the ground and they started from 0 this spring. So this pathway was overgrown. I had to clear a bunch of strawberries and weeds and Tradescantia out so I could even walk on the pathway. I like catmint. It's one of my favorite teas. I planted some catmint and I didn't expect much out of it, but it has just taken this area over. These two Trachycarpus, the one on the right and the left, they're doing very well. They're 2 of the original 5 that I planted in 2020. This one is 6.5 feet tall, and that makes it my fastest growing Trachycarpus. It was only 5 feet tall when I left. These have big, stiff fronds. The backside has a nice silver finish to it, and the trunk on this one is decently thick. Probably not the thickest, not as thick as the ninetale. This raised bed, it's in kind of a rain shadow, an irrigation shadow. The sprinkler over there gets blocked out by that clump of bananas, and then there's another sprinkler over there, but it's blocked out by the tetrapanics and that Trachycarpus. So everything here would probably be doing a little better if it got more water, but those bananas look really good. I don't know, they're probably 6 feet tall, maybe 7 from grade. That Tetrapanix died to the ground last winter, but it's got 3 foot of trunk, and the leaves are not huge, but they're pretty big. This Trachycarpus is doing really well right here. This is a male Actinidia arguta. I don't remember what variety. The garden is thick and overgrown. Oh, Ceanothus Diamond Heights. That's a really good looking plant. It's probably triple the size that it was when I planted it this spring. This Butia looks great. Look at how green this new frond is. I like that. I like brilliant foliage. The waterfall area looks good. Lots of foliage is just kind of growing over it. That really makes it look natural and nice. Pteris cretica, this is a marginal fern here in this zone, but I saw a bunch of Pteris cretica up in the southern foothills of the Himalayas. So it grows up at, I don't know what elevation we were at least 4,000 or 5,000 feet above sea level. So yeah, it's native to northern India, but not the variegated form. The ones that we buy here in the States, of course, are mostly the variegated form. This surprised me. The Polypodium glycyrrhiza licorice fern. This is a wintergreen fern. It dies in the summer, so I was surprised to come back home and find that it has not bloomed. That's the word I'm looking for. It came back. Most of the garden is taller than me now, which is cool because you can come in here and kind of get lost. Everywhere you look around, there's just lush garden jungle foliage. This cordyline is over 4 feet tall now. I think it was a 4-inch planter when I got it in 20. It's doing very well. I planted a bunch of caladium bulbs and they didn't pop up forever, so I thought they were all rotten. But I came home and there's caladiums all over the place now. They are all popping up. There's more caladiums. Some of these have some really nice colors. This Trachycarpus continues to get more and more etiolated. I love how long the petioles are. It's got a pretty skinny trunk, pretty narrow. The Insetes have not done well this year. We have had a nice hot summer, so I'm surprised that they have not done better. They did better last year than this year. Schefflera taiwaniana, Pteris willickiana, looks really good. Albizia julibrisson is probably 10 times the size that it was last year. It's 4 feet tall, or at least it would be if it was not leaning over. More Melianthus doing well. I lost a few things that were in different parts of the yard that did not get irrigated. Garden looks good from here. But I lost some rhododendrons and some, what else? Some laurels. I lost a couple clumps of bamboo. I lost the Borinda angustissima, so that sucks. And a Fargesia scabrita. I wasn't here to water it, so it croaked. Well, that's about it. The garden looks wild and overgrown, very jungly. I really like it. And it really sucks that I'm probably going to be moving next year, but it is what it is. Nothing in life is permanent. You can't take it with you when you go, you know. So I've decided no matter where I live, I'm going to do my best to create the best garden that I can, the best Eden, and I'll enjoy it while it lasts. And then when I move, I will move on and build a bigger, better garden, and hopefully end up in southern Florida where I can grow palms to my heart's content. So that's it for now.